What's going on YouTube? This your boy Perfect Cell, and I'm back with another video game video. And this is a countdown video game. And this is long overdue, but this is my top 10 favorite fighting games of all time. Now, fighting games has been a staple in my childhood and most of our childhoods as well. I mean, from X-Men to the Next Dimension to Mortal Kombat to Capcom versus Marvel. Like, these fighting games were like that. And I will never forget these fighting games. Shoot, if you be between the ages of 19 and 35 and you're a gamer like me, then I know you haven't forgot about how much fighting games used to hit back then and how many memories it brought in the whole 9 yards. All I gotta say is this: if I could only play 10 fighting games, these would be the 10 fighting games that I would play. I don't know about y'all, but I just want to say this before I get into the countdown for the millionth time. This is my countdown, okay? It's not yours, it's not YouTube's. Alright, now if you want to share yours in the countdown, then go right ahead. But hey, don't be all like, oh, you forgot this, you forgot that. No, I didn't. I didn't miss anything, because this is my countdown. But with no further ado, let's get into the video. Number 10. Samurai Showdown. Now, to be honest, I feel like when it comes to fighting games, the world of 16-bit fighting games, Samurai Showdown is pretty slept on when it comes to the topic. And not only the game is kind of slept on, but it was sort of ahead of its time when you think about it as far as combat goes, as it emphasizes on the defense as well as offense, because fighting games those days, it was mostly offense. It was hardly any defense. Like, it didn't really have like any blocking. Well, some of them did, but that's all they had, you know? Like, it was no counters, no nothing. And of course, each character, they had their own personal weapon and the whole 9 yards. Now, and I must add too, even though it was a 16-bit, they had some neat graphics for a game that was on the Super Nintendo. And as for the cast is whatever, you know. But because, well, I only played with one character on this game. But yeah, man, if you have a Super Nintendo, shoot, don't sleep on this game, bro. Or if you have, whether it's the old Super Nintendo, the classic one, or like the remastered Super Nintendo that has all the games. I'm sure Samurai Showdown is in there, but yeah, man, I love Samurai Showdown. One of my favorite games. Number 9, Tekken 5. Now, I'm gonna be really honest with y'all. This is the latest Tekken game I've ever played, and well, it's also the best. Reason why I say that, because it's like, you know, they finally got this whole game right, alright? Now, a lot of the die-hard fighting game fanatics, you know, they always criticize Tekken about how, oh, Tekken is just like another Street Fighter. I really don't see any similarity between Tekken and Street Fighter for real. Because even though the cast is somewhat similar, the gameplay, the storyline, and overall the theme of as a whole is different. Like, instead of a mercenary ruling the world, you have demons ruling the world, you know? And then you have a rogue demon defending it as well, as he doesn't let any more demons come from out of hell. And not to mention, this is Tekken. This is Tekken as it has a ranking system, which is pretty new at the time. And it even has something sort of like an adventure mode. I forgot what it was called, but bear with me. And not only that, this Tekken game came with the Tekken trilogy from Tekken 1, 2, and 3. So it's like, what more can you ask for, man? Now, 6 and 7, it might be better, it might not. But as far as I know, Tekken 5 is the best Tekken I ever played. Number 8. Smackdown versus Raw. Now, a lot of y'all gonna be like, man, y'all tripping, because, well, I put a WWE video game in the midst. You know, everybody's like, oh, but wrestling is fake, wrestling ain't real, da. Who gives a crap? You know, it's a freaking video game. A video game's fake, so what you mean? But with that being said, yes, I love the Smackdown vs. Raw series. And out of all the SmackDown vs. Raw games that I played, this, in my opinion, is the best one I ever played. It definitely revolutionized the world of wrestling video games. You know, each characters had like their multiple finishers, great graphics, a variety of matchups. You can reverse, they had the stamina setting, they had the special moves. Everyone has multiple special moves, by the way. You know how Undertaker has the power driver and that other special move that he does. I forgot what it was. I think it's Snake Eyes or something. I can't remember. And let's not forget, you can make your own character in this, and you can come up with so many various different fighting moves. And they have like their own team specials and all of this other stuff. And you can create your own team. You can create your own character's interests. Like the list goes on and on. Like SmackDown vs. Raw has so much that it rocked my adolescent world. Number 7, Soulcalibur IV. Now here we have a powerhouse fighting game from Capcom, which is like the king of fighting games. I mean, they're the one who made Street Fighters. Like, come on, you know. Now, a lot of people thought that customizing characters was kind of corny. Me, I loved it. You know, I loved the fighting where they had the special moves. I love how I love the storyline about the person who runs Soulcalibur. I forgot what the cat name is, but I like that. And well, so the Soulcalibur version I got was on the Xbox 360. I don't know what they had on the PlayStation 3. But yeah, the 360 version, they had Yoda, they had Darth Vader, they had the Apprentice, Now that's badass. Now a lot of people was like, will criticize this and be like, oh, they out of place. Oh, they don't fit well with Soulcalibur, da 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 da. Hey, sometimes it's best not to fit in, you know what I mean? So shoot, so I liked it a lot. A lot of people might say it's corny, but yeah, I loved it. And not to mention, the graphics was pretty on point at the time. Like it looked beautiful. And a lot of people say that, oh, I don't like the anime thing. It make them look like they got plastic surgery. But y'all gotta understand, this was a time where video games was transitioning from 3D to HD. So with the graphics transitioning like that, it was kind of hard to see how to make them look, because it's like the HD universe hasn't been well fleshed out yet, so a lot of people didn't really know what to do with the graphics. But hey, like I said, the graphics look good on it, man. Like, I love Soulcalibur IV. I don't know about y'all. Number 6, Def Jam Fight for New York. Now, truth be told, I was very late into the Def Jam Fight for New York. Listen, I started playing that after I played Icon. That's how late I was. Because I think I played Icon when around 2008, and I played Fight for New York around maybe 2010. But that's besides the point. But yeah, man, I remember playing Def Jam Icon, and everyone used to say that Icon is trash, And me, I didn't really see what was the hate about Def Jam Icon. Don't get me wrong, Icon, it does suck, but it's not as bad as what people say it is. That's what I'm saying. But when I played Fight for New York, that's when I was like, oh, now I know what they mean. Because Icon was kind of limited compared to Fight for New York. But anyways, yes, this game, Def Jam Fight for New York, it set the bar high, with a whole new cast, create a character, you create their build, make certain martial arts for them. You can dress them up, give them nice hairstyles, change their voice, all of this other stuff. And I don't know if you can do this back in Bandana, but I know in Fight for New York, you can use weapons. There's danger zones for the stages, like the subway stage. If you would have stayed on the tracks long enough, shoot, you're in for a rude awakening. And let's not forget the plot. The plot was so amazing. It starts you off as you working for D-Mob. Oh, the D-Mob, the boss from Vendetta. And now you're his savior, and now you work for him, and you trying to get his clubs back. And well, Crow, he kind of messed all that up, and you kind of tear down what you build. It's very amazing. I don't want to spoil too much for you, but all in all, man, this game is very neat. And I heard they're trying to make another Def Jam Fight for New York. They're probably gonna do Fight for Atlanta, Fight for LA, whatever. But they trying to do something like that again. But yeah, man, I can't wait. Number 5, Fight Night Round 4. Now, I will always say that this is the best Fight Night game I have ever played. I mean, the graphics was on point, you know, the fight choreography was on point, it felt realistic, and not to mention career mode was very cool as well. Shoot. Like, they had some of the boxing legends like George Foreman, Mike Tyson, and I think they even had money-making Floyd Mayweather. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. Like, what more can you ask for? Like, the fight seems much more fast-paced than its predecessor. And if you get caught by a haymaker, like, it has so much impact that you would think that you was the one getting smacked in the face. And not to mention, this has one of the best soundtracks I ever heard in a fighting game as well. Like, the soundtrack was so great. I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't put a soundtrack like this on Creed. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. But yeah, man, it's kind of like, you know, I can't wait for a new Fight Night to come out. Like, I've been like waiting for this forever. If they're not gonna make another Fight Night, make something else like Fight Night, because come on, man, like MMA is still good. I ain't knocking UFC 4, but like, come on, man, like we've been waiting for Fight Night. Come on now, what y'all doing, EA? What y'all doing, 2K Sports? What, like, give us another Fight Night, man. Number 4, Urban Reign. Now, I did a video on this video game a while back, but yeah, man, like, just in case y'all haven't watched that video, the link will be in the description below. And I also talked about how much it's like like Tekken, because it's from the same developers of Tekken, but instead of being a tournament like Tekken, it's a beat 'em up / arena type deal, you know. Like, in this game, you can fight with more than one player on it. It comes with like weapons. You know, it comes with like all the reverses and all of this other stuff. And not to mention, not only all characters have like their own unique style of martial arts, but they even have their own unique style of weapons. You know, like Shinkai having a samurai sword, and Park, he have like that little aluminum bat. And listen, not only the gameplay was fire, but the storyline was like no other. You know, in the world of video games, like at the time, like this was pretty much unique. You know, as all the gangs, they all come together to take out the mayor that's destroying the town, you know, and they have to go through his henchmen and all of this other stuff. And it even comes with some guest appearances like Martial Law and Paul Phoenix, which fits very perfectly into the game, in my opinion. And all I gotta say is this, man, they don't make fighting games like this no more. It's sad. Number 3, Mortal Kombat 9, or just Mortal Kombat. Whatever you want to call it, that Mortal Kombat. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Before MK9, I thought it was it for Mortal Kombat. Like, it's been 5 years since the last legit Mortal Kombat game. And no, I'm not counting Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. That is a good game, by the way. I ain't gonna hold you. That is a good game. But we're not gonna count that because that's not really canon to the Mortal Kombat world. You know what I mean? But anyways, when Armageddon came out, Mortal Kombat versus DC, I think that was the last game on Midway. After that, shoot, stick a fork in Midway. Midway is done. Out of here. Done with the video game thing. But luckily, Warner Bros., they started to take the game in and brought Ed Boon and Tobias to form NetherRealm Studios to create the ultimate Mortal Kombat game. And I put the emphasis on the word ultimate, because these graphics right here, man, the transition to AT, to HD, I was very curious about the fatalities. I was like, yo, these fatalities are gonna be a different breed, bro. Like, I remember listen, they wasn't lying about the fatalities. I was right about them. They are, man, bruh. Like, I remember back when I was playing Mortal Kombat 2 and Kung Lao did his little hat fatality. You know, and that scared the crap out of me as a kid. But the Razor's Edge fatality, that hat fatality that I played as a kid seems like something off of a PG movie. And we can't forget the unlockables. You have the classic stages, the classic fighting gear, the online, like they really took Mortal Kombat by storm with this. And bro, it's changed a whole lot for the better. They say ain't nothing like the old days, but bro, this generation of Mortal Kombat, it's like, bro, it's the boss, man. It is. And not to mention, they have the little X-ray combats. Now, even number 2, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Alright, being that this is my favorite Dragon Ball Z game of all time, you already know it's going to be up there in my list of favorite fighting games. Come on, man. And I talked about this video game a while back on my favorite Dragon Ball Z video games, but anyways, that link will also be in the description below. Now, if you love fighting games that has a whole lot of space, you know, and that relies on a lot of your defense, make you think on your own feet, this game right here is for you. Like, this game is the ultimate fighting game in my opinion. Like, you can, like, they had a plethora of like tournaments, they had tag team battles, and even some of the best fighting casts I have ever seen ever. And I think this is the first Dragon Ball Z video game that had the online setting in it. Like, that was pretty cool too. I can't wait till they remaster this, man. If they remaster this, sales are gonna go up through the roof, especially if they put the online in with the remasters. What? Boy, man. Whew. Not to mention, like, in 2-player mode, if you were to fight somebody and win, shoot, you can replay it and show it to your friends like, ha, I kicked this guy's ass in this game, see? But yeah, man, I advise anybody, if you haven't played any Dragon Ball Z video game before, like, I want y'all to play this run right here. Like this right here is gonna rock your world. Number 1, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Who would have thought? Who would have thought the number 1 pick would be a video game from this generation of consoles? Considering the fact that fighting games of this generation wasn't as big as it used to be. But this game is not like any other fighting game I ever played. It's almost like a RPG for Nintendo Disneyland. Like, bro, like you can roam around the map. You know, you can collect different power-ups, handicaps, trophies, you name it. And to be honest, these power-ups and these handicaps and all of this other stuff that they got within the story mode, they really go a long way. Trust me, because I get my ass whooped all the time when I'm not, like, you know, ready. Even then, when I am ready, I still get my ass whooped. But that's besides the point. And I'm gonna just say it like this too: the whole RPG Disneyland for Nintendo, like that's very clever. Like, I think they're gonna start making fighting games like this from now on. Like, and this is why I say that this game is actually ahead of its time. Now, we don't know how the next generation of fighting games will be, but I'm assuming that this is what it's gonna be like from now on. Shoot, Mortal Kombat 11 even trying something like this out. So maybe Street Fighter V might have this in mind, Tekken 8 might have this in mind, or like any of the next fighting game craze sensation might have something like this in mind. Like, bro, you never know. Like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, like, it's really coming a long way, man. Like, it's really like changing the landscape of fighting games all around the world. But anyways, this is going to be the end of this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what are your top 10 favorite video games of all time. Like always, this is your boy Perfect Cell, and I'm Ghost.
Sweet Mary J, Mary Kate, and Ashley, 2 twins rolled up. I think it was a Saturday.